Good morning, children. Welcome to English class. Today we are going to see Unit 4 and the name of the lesson is Travel. This is an information about the travels of Marco Polo. As I told you, this is a story about the travels of Marco Polo. Okay. More than 700 years ago, a warship commander of Venice, Marco, was captured by the rival city. He was put in a prison where he met a fellow prisoner and writer named Rustichello. As the two men became friends, Marco told them about his time in Asia, what he had seen, where he had traveled, and what he had accomplished. Rustichello found the stories so interesting that he wrote them down. They were eventually published as a book called The Description of the World, later known as The Travels of Marco Polo. So Marco Polo was a commander. Commander means one who is in charge of soldiers. So he was a commander in Venice where he was taken into prison. So there in the prison he met a person called Rustichello, and Rustichello was a writer. So Marco and Rustichello, both of them became friends. So Marco told him about his time in Asia, what he had seen, where he had traveled, and what he accomplished. Accomplished means what he succeeded. So Rustichello, when Marco told all these stories about himself, he found the stories were interesting and he wrote them down. So later he published as a book called The Description of the World, and later the book was known as The Travels of Marco Polo. Okay. So Marco Polo was born in the year 1254 to a wealthy Venetian merchant family. Polo's mother died when he was young. His father Niccolo and his uncle Maffeo were successful jewel merchants. They were in China for much of Polo's youth. So Marco Polo was born in the year in 1254 and he was a wealthy Venetian merchant family. Venetian means it is a place. So he belonged to a merchant from Venetia. So Polo's mother died when he was very young. So father's name was Niccolo and his uncle name was Maffeo. So both of them were jewel merchants and they were successful. So most of the time they were in China of much of Polo's youth. So when Marco Polo was in his youth, both his father and his uncle, they were in China. In 1269, Niccolo and Maffeo returned to Venice and met Marco for the first time. In 1271, the Polos decided to travel to China again. This time, 17-year-old Marco accompanied them. During those time, a journey from Europe to China took a very long time. So in 1269, that is when Niccolo and Maffeo, when they returned to Venice, they met Marco Polo for the first time. So they didn't see him from the time he was born. So next time, after 2 years, that is in 1271, so all of them decided to travel to China again. So that time Marco Polo was 17 years old. So even he joined them. Accompanied means he also joined them in their travel. So during those times, a journey from Europe to China took a very, very long time, because as now we don't have those planes and all. So they have to travel by seas and they have to cross the desert. So it took a very long time. So first the Polos took a ship across the Mediterranean Sea. So how did they travel first? See, first they took a ship and they crossed the Mediterranean Sea. First, the Polos took a ship across the Mediterranean Sea to Palestine, now known as Israel in the Middle East. Going any further by ship was not safe, so they decided to go further by land. They traveled in a caravan across the desert in Persia. They traveled through the parts of Central Asia and soon reached the Silk Road, a famous travel route. So in order to reach China, so first they traveled through the Mediterranean ship till Palestine, that is now it is known as Israel in the Middle East. So later they found that it was not safe to travel by ship. So they decided to go by land. So they traveled in a caravan across the desert in Persia. So they traveled through the central parts of the Asia and they reached a road called Silk Road. It is a famous travel route. Okay. Marco was very observant and thus he paid keen attention to everything. He met people of many different religions and learnt new things throughout his journey. He learnt Mongolian, Persian, and Turkish. He was the first European to come across petroleum, the oil from which petrol is made. The people of Georgia used it to soothe their skin. So Marco was very observant. Observant means he paid attention to every minute things. So while he was traveling, he observed all that he came through. So while traveling, what he did, he met people of many religions and he learnt many things. So he learnt new languages like Mongolian, Persian, and Turkish. And he was the first European to come across petroleum. So petroleum is the oil which is taken from petrol. So he found that the people of Georgia use this use this petroleum to soothe their skin. Soothe their skin means to soften their skin. The Polo's journey to China brought them face to face with many challenges. Perhaps the biggest of them was going through one of the largest deserts of the world, the Gobi Desert in Asia. Marco later described it as the desert is reported to be so long that would take a year to go from end to end. So during their travel to China, so the Polos, that is Marco Polo, his father and his uncle, everyone faced many challenges. So the biggest challenge was when they were crossing the largest desert of the world, that is the Gobi Desert, which is situated in Asia. So he found that the desert is reported to be so long that it took nearly a year to go from one end of the desert to the other. So Marco said this desert is reported to be so long that it would take a year to go from one end to end, and at the narrowest point it takes a month to cross it. It consists of entirely mountains and sands and valleys. There is nothing at all to eat. So they found it very difficult because it almost took a year to cross from one part of the desert to the other, and the narrowest part of the desert took almost a month to cross it, and there were many mountains, sands and valleys, and they didn't find anything to eat. So finally, after 4 years of travel, the Polos reached China and met the Emperor Kublai Khan, who was staying at his summer palace known as Shangdu. So the Polos lived in China for the next 16 years. Niccolo and Mafio Polo were granted important positions in Kublai's court. Marco impressed Khan with his tales, and soon he was employed as his special envoy. As a result, Marco was sent to far-flung areas of Asia never before explored by Europeans. That is, so after 4 years of travel, finally the Polos reached China, and there they met the Emperor Kublai Khan. So he was staying in his summer palace, and the Polos lived in China for the next 16 years. So the merchants Niccolo, and that is Polo's father Niccolo and uncle Mafio Polo, they were granted important positions in the emperor's court. So Marco impressed the emperor by his tales, and soon he was employed as the special envoy. Envoy means a messenger or representative, especially one who handles diplomatic missions. So as a result, Marco was sent to far-flung areas of Asia. Far-flung means very distant areas where the other Europeans have never explored. Never explored means they have never found out. So Marco Polo was sent to many areas and he explored. His book, The Description of the World, makes special mention of his time in China and the bizarre inventions he saw there. He told Europeans how paper money was used in China while the rest of the world used heavy metal coins. The same paper was used to make kites that were used to measure distance and send signals. So in his book, The Description of the World, he mentioned about his time he spent in China. So that time China was ruled by Mughal Empire. Okay, and the bizarre inventions means strange inventions he saw there. So he told Europeans that how paper was used as money. Now how we have notes, in earlier days we used only coins. So he told Europeans how paper money was used in China while the rest of the world used heavy metal coins. So it is the same paper that we used to make kites and we used to measure the distance and send signals. The book also tells us how black stones, now known as coal, were mined from the mountains and used as fuel, And among the most revolutionary things was the description of gunpowder. The Chinese used it to make firecrackers and weapons. So what all he found? He found they used paper as money, and the coal were used as fuel, and the description of gunpowder and how Chinese used it to make firecrackers and weapons using the gunpowder. Finally, after 17 years in Khan's court, the Polos decided it was time to return to Venice, that is their hometown. So the decision was not one that pleased Khan, who'd grown to depend on the men, though in the end he agreed to their request. On the way back, they took a sea route known as the Spice Route. The route took them along the coast of Malaysia, Sumatra, Sri Lanka, and India. After traveling for 2 years, they reached Venice in 1295. So, after 17 years, they decided to return to their hometown, Venice. So, this decision did not please the emperor because he was always dependent on these men. So, he did not like them returning to their home country. So, finally, he agreed them to go to their hometown. So, on the way back to Venice, they took the sea route, and this route is known as Spice Route. Okay, so they traveled through the coast of Malaysia, Sumatra, Sri Lanka, and India. So after 2 years, they reached Venice, and they reached in the year 1295. The Polos had been away from home for 24 years, and their return to their native land undoubtedly had its difficulties. They had difficulties because they were away from their hometown for solid 24 years. So they struggled to speak their mother tongue, and even their relatives could not recognize them. So 3 years after his return, Marco commanded a warship in a battle and was captured. Captured means he was taken to prison. So the book written when he was released made Marco a celebrity. So when he was prisoned, that is when he started writing the book His Friend, and he became a celebrity after the book was released. So after his release from the prison, Marco became very wealthy and famous for the tales of his travels. So Marco became very wealthy after he was released from the prison. So he soon married a woman named Donato Padova and had 3 daughters. Marco's stories were so unfamiliar and strange for the people of Europe that many did not believe them to be true. Unfamiliar means which they have not heard or which they have not seen before. So they found all the incidents which Marco wrote on the book is unfamiliar and strange, and they did not believe him. So the book eventually earned another title, The Million Lies. So later the people called the book as The Million Lies because they did not believe in the book. But Marco, however, stood by the book. Centuries later, historians have proved that most of the things written in Marco's book were true. So after centuries, that is when the historians, they proved that the book written by Marco was true. Marco lived till the age of 70 as he lay dying in his home in Venice on January 8, 1324. Friends and family paid him visits, urging him to admit that his book was a fiction. Marco simply said, "I have not told half of what I saw." So Marco lived till the age of 70. So when he was in the verge of dying, in his home in Venice on January 8, 1324, his friends and family came to visit him. So they asked Marco to admit means to accept that the book he wrote was a fiction. Fiction means that is full of lies. So that is when Marco simply said that he has not told half of the things that what he saw. So only for half of the things itself people did not believe. Imagine what if he have told most of the things or 100% of what he saw. They would have never believed him. So that's the end of the story, children. Thank you, children. For today's assignment, write all the dictation words and antonyms and send it to my WhatsApp number. Okay, bye.